Before you take your next bite, look at your plate. That sprinkle of salt, it's more than just seasoning. Salt is everywhere, on our tables, in our food, so common we barely notice it. But this simple mineral has shaped empires, sparked wars, and driven revolutions. Salt is essential for life. Our nerves, muscles, even our blood depend on it. Early humans got salt from meat, but as we shifted to farming, we needed new sources. This quest for salt drove exploration, built cities, and created trade routes. The word salary comes from salarium, the payment Roman soldiers received to buy salt. Salt of the earth still means someone valuable. Salt's power came from its ability to preserve food, long before refrigeration. It let people store food, travel, and feed armies, giving control over survival. For most of history, getting enough salt was a struggle. It was mined, harvested, and traded across continents. Those who controlled salt held immense power, funding armies and ruling nations. The white crystals on your table have a dramatic history of conflict and survival. Salt's story is the story of civilization itself. It's not just a seasoning, it's the silent king that built our world. Next time you reach for the salt, remember, you're touching a piece of history. Salt shaped our destiny, one grain at a time. This is the story of how salt built our world. The Roman Empire's power wasn't just built on soldiers and roads, it was built on salt. Salt preserved food for Roman legions, letting them campaign far from home. The Via Salaria, or Salt Road, was built to transport salt to Rome. Control of salt sources was a key military and economic strategy. The state monopolized salt, using it for revenue and social control. Cheap or free salt was given to citizens to maintain order and loyalty. Profits from salt even funded public works like the Colosseum. Salt was more than a commodity. It was a tool of governance and a symbol of Roman power. The empire's arteries were its roads, and salt was the lifeblood that flowed through them. Salt helped Rome rule the ancient world. The word salary comes from salarium, the salt allowance paid to Roman soldiers. Sometimes soldiers were paid directly in salt, a vital resource for health and food preservation. Salt was so valuable, it became a form of currency and trade. Worth one's salt meant a soldier had earned his pay. Supplying salt was a matter of national security. Without it, armies weakened. Denying salt to enemies was a powerful tactic. By controlling salt, Rome could raise and maintain vast armies. The simple act of paying soldiers in salt helped secure an empire. Salt was the foundation of military power and loyalty. The soldier's salary was, quite literally, a salary of salt. In West Africa, salt was as precious as gold. The hot, humid south lacked salt, making it desperately sought after. Salt was mined in the Sahara, cut into slabs, and transported by camel caravans across the desert. These journeys were perilous, but salt was life itself for people and livestock. The farther south the salt traveled, the more valuable it became. In some regions, salt was traded for its weight in gold. This exchange built powerful empires and legendary cities. Salt was not just a commodity. It was currency, survival, and power. The salt trade shaped the destiny of West Africa. Timbuktu, at the edge of the Sahara, became a legendary city of wealth and learning. Here, salt from the north met gold from the south in bustling markets. A slab of salt could be traded for its weight in gold, an exchange that built empires. The Mali and Songhai empires grew rich by controlling this trade. Mansa Musa, Mali's emperor, became the world's richest man through salt and gold. The wealth from salt funded a golden age of scholarship and culture in Timbuktu. Salt's value went beyond money. It created civilizations and centers of knowledge. The story of Timbuktu shows how a simple mineral can change the world. In medieval France, salt became a tool of oppression. The monarchy imposed the gabelle, a harsh salt tax and royal monopoly. Every citizen was forced to buy overpriced salt, hitting the poor hardest. The tax was uneven, fueling resentment and smuggling. Gabellas, the salt tax collectors, became symbols of government tyranny. The gabelle turned ordinary people into criminals and bred hatred for the regime. This injustice became a rallying cry for revolution. The salt tax showed how control of a necessity can spark social upheaval. The gabelle was more than a tax, it was a symbol of injustice. When the French Revolution erupted, the salt tax was one of the first targets. People refused to pay, attacked customs posts, and drove out tax collectors. The National Assembly abolished the gabelle, a victory for liberty and equality. But the temptation to tax salt returned. Napoleon later revived it. The fight against the gabelle became part of France's revolutionary heritage. It proved that when governments turn necessities into tools of oppression, people will rise up. The salt tax was a fight for life and freedom. Salt became a catalyst for revolution. In India, the British salt tax became a symbol of colonial oppression. The British monopoly forced Indians to buy their own salt at high prices. Gandhi saw salt as the perfect issue to unite the nation. In 1930, he led the Salt March, a 240-mile walk to the sea to make salt in defiance of British law. Thousands joined, turning a simple act into a mass movement. Gandhi's gesture of picking up salt inspired millions to break the law. The British arrested over 60,000 people, but the movement could not be stopped. The Salt March exposed the injustice of colonial rule to the world. Salt became a symbol of Indian unity and resistance. The campaign weakened British authority and fueled the push for independence. A simple mineral became the spark for freedom. Salt once again changed history. Gandhi's Salt March didn't end British rule overnight, but it was a turning point. The world saw the injustice of punishing people for making salt. The age of empires built on salt was ending. Refrigeration and modern food processing made salt cheap and abundant. Salt's role as white gold faded and the old monopolies collapsed. Today, salt is a humble seasoning, its dramatic history mostly forgotten. But its story is a reminder. Control of basic necessities shapes history. Salt built empires, fueled revolutions, and symbolized freedom. Its legacy lives on in our language, culture, and civilization. The story of salt is, ultimately, the story of us.